Hello, it's John, and I am here in my studio. You may have noticed me talking about my studio and a lot, and then also about the changes that I've been making. So previously the studio was, initially it was a garage, and then just almost 2 years ago, had it converted into a specialist company came in and built this room within a room. And so this is a soundproof room, thereabouts. There is a big storm raging outside here in Scotland, and you can just about hear it in the background. Behind me is the old garage door on the other side of this wall, and that's rattling away in the wind. I wanted to give you a quick tour of some of the things that I've been changing, because I know it'll continue to evolve. And so for the first couple of years that I've had the studio, I had a big backdrop just here, and I would sit with my back to this wall, quite close to it, and I'd sit on a piano stool. And then just about in the center of the room, just here, I would have a little music stand. And put my laptop on that, and that's where I would do my client sessions and also do my music. And it occurred to me after starting my business and doing my energy healing, clearing, psychic readings, and much more, that doing this work as a full-time job in this room, that perhaps I should invest in maybe a chair and also just lighten up the room a bit. Currently it has no windows and it has no air ventilation, so it means every time, like between each session or between each music adventure, I just open the door, which goes into a little kind of very small old parts of the garage and then takes us outside. But let me show you, I'll give you a quick tour of what's in here. So it may not be lost on you that it is a bit like a padded cell. I don't know, maybe that feels good. Maybe it's like if I ever go completely crazy and I end up in a padded cell, then it'll feel like home. So I have my guitar. It's on, this is a Lindo Karma guitar. I have two of these. I use one for gigging and traveling around, and then another one in the studio. And it's really cool. Like, you just pick it up off these stands are so cool. You see this little locking mechanism that relies on the weight. So when you put it down, it just locks and grips in. There's my new plant, to be named. I haven't given a name yet, although maybe Eagle. One of you was calling him Eagle in the comments, so thank you. And then I've begun, as you can see, not across all the walls yet, but in putting up these. These are sound dampening panels. They're quite expensive. They're not the most expensive, but I think they're the only white ones I could find, or thereabouts. And then I have a heater, which of course you need, a new chair, which is fantastic. I have one of these in my office upstairs, and they went down in price. They're from IKEA, and they're just so cool because they're like super thin. And I can sit cross-legged, like in the lotus position on it as well, whenever I need to, which I often do at the start of client sessions. I still have my wonderful mic, which is the SM7B, the Shure SM7B. And you see it in loads of podcasts. And I bought this new microphone arm, and they're just fantastic. It's an Akeo arm, and what's fantastic about it is it just attaches to the desk, whereas before I was using music stands, and the thing is they would like sit on the ground. I have a computer which I just use for connecting to my drum kits, which I'll show in a minute, and then I have, what happens with the microphone is it connects through into this thing, which is like a vocal compressor, so it's mainly for singing, but the good thing is, especially these two knobs here, they filter out background noise, so like hiss, and like if my laptop's making funny noises or Patch is making funny noises. I have a new ring light, and this ring light is also on an arm, which is fantastic. These arms are just great, so nothing sits on the floor. It means everything's just mounted onto the desk. The desk itself is a £10 desk from IKEA. I think they're actually made of like cardboard. If you open them up, it's just card inside, which is fantastic. I vastly limited my crystal collection to just 4. You can guess what those are. And this is my new mixing desk. So I say new, I think the model's been around for maybe 5 years or so, the Model 12 Tascam. But the previous one I had was 24 channels, and it took up most of the desk. And this smaller one has way more features. It has all the things I need. So for instance, into here I have my microphone, into here my guitar, and then I can connect my electric guitar to here. And I also have my drum kit connects in here. And then when I'm doing like a client session or a podcast, my vocals come in here, and then I can hear you talking back to me. It comes back in through this channel. So this connects into, like, there's a wee USB connector, and it connects into either my phone up in here or into my laptop. So that's fantastic. Now I use it to record. When I'm doing music, I record onto an SD card just in here, and then I transfer it off the desk and back onto the phone. For client sessions, it's recorded on Zoom. I also have some merch hanging up here. My drum kits. This is my drum kit, and it's an electric drum kit. It's quite hard to see in the dark, but you get the idea. And I have a couple of bags of rubbish, which are from the panels that I've been, like, each of these panels has a backing to it, so it like sticks onto the walls easily. And then 2 guitars. I have a Schecter Diamond Series electric guitar, and then I think it's called an Amon or Amoon bass guitar, and a door. This is my security door. That was what the company decided to install. Oh, it's gone blurred. But it's fantastic, and that takes you outside into what was the garage. And what I've been doing is gradually moving stuff out of the studio into here, and outside the storm's raging. And then I'm just going to clear this out. So you can see, for instance, there's my old mixing desk down there. One of the hard things to know what to do with some of this equipment is if you want to be able to like remix songs, it's really helpful to have the original mixing desk. But this would be the third brand of mixing desk, sorry, the third model of mixing desks. So that would mean I'd have to store the old mixing desks. Maybe it'll go in like the John Binnie archive, the museum archive. And then finally, when I sit down, you can see is my microphone. This is a very comfortable sitting position, way more comfortable than I had before, and it definitely feels like it was worth the investment after spending lots of money on this room and clearing it out. So I had a lot of junk in here, and it feels much clearer. You know, when you clear and declutter a space, especially a sacred space. I mean, you could argue all of your home is sacred to you, right? That it's important to just clear out things that you just don't need, that you don't really serve your highest good. So yeah, that's me. I just wanted to give you a quick tour, and there are some other things under the desk: guitar pedals, some connectors for the microphone setup I have. And I can show that maybe in another video if you're really interested in the detail, but I just wanted to orientate you with this with this studio that I have. And it's a real blessing to have this. I feel really honored. And as well as this, I'm going to be drilling a big hole. I've got one of these huge drill bits, maybe up through here, or somewhere near the door. And that will be a new air vent I'm putting in, because it feels like air is a really good idea. I'm going to need that. And I've also been building a similar, almost identical setup to this up in my home office. So like the same coffee cup, the same mixing desk. And the idea is that no matter where I am, I can give you high quality sessions and recordings, and that it feels good wherever I'm doing work for you. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the tour. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Sending love.